Let's go ahead and move on to segment two, which is Super Bowl breakdown. TK, what is the most anticipated group matchup?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with the offensive line versus the defensive line. This is PC can correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe that the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line was the best this year as far as sacks and quarterback pressures. And we all know the best way to beat Patrick Mahomes is by putting pressure on him. I'm not sure how good Kansas City Chiefs offensive line was this year. I know about the one major injury that Patrick Mahomes had, which is when he hurt his ACL or whatever it was. That was really the only time I seen him take a hit like that all season. So I'm assuming that for the most part, his offensive line protected him throughout the season because I believe he was the leading in pass yards as well, and you can't do that with a bad offensive line. So with that being said, yeah, it's definitely going to be the defensive line versus the offensive line because, like I said, the best way to beat Patrick Mahomes is pressure, and I believe that this defensive line will get it done. And if they do get it done, I don't think that this is going to be a close game at all. The Eagles may run away with this one early.
All right, now Tolu, who is the better coach, Nick Sirianni or Andy Reid?
Who's a better coach? Easily Andy Reid. That's not even a question. What? Bro, we could coach the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, what are you talking about? That's one of the deepest teams ever assembled. Okay, like what? Nick Sirianni, Mickey, like, come on, bro. Andy Reid is the entire Chiefs offense. He built a system with that offense every time. Nick Sirianni doesn't do nothing, okay? The Eagles are one of the most well-built teams in NFL history. Easily Andy Reid is way better than Nick Sirianni. And don't give me that face, Roderick. You know it's true. You know that Andy Reid is a way better coach than
I
Nick
just hate how
Sirianni.
you're disrespecting Sirianni this much. Like
I'm
saying
not.
that any of us can coach that Eagles team,
We
like
Yeah.
the
can. That
Broncos.
team is deep. That
I
Listen,
team
mean,
is
the Josh
the
McDaniels was
Broncos, the
spectacular.
Broncos were supposed to be good this year. They suck. The Raiders were
Right,
supposed to
there's
be good
Josh
this
that
year.
McDaniels.
Broncos
That's what
They
I'm
team is
suck.
saying.
nowhere near
And
as
it's
deep
because of
as
bad
this
coaching.
Eagles team.
Nobody
That
on this
Broncos
call and no like national media analysts is just going to easily coach this Eagles team because they're good. Just because they're good. That's silly. Is that better than Andy Reid? That's me saying that.
All right, Sean, who has the better running back and wide receiver core?
Probably the better overall wide receiver core. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles here. Definitely the better skill positions.
Gianni, who has the better defense?
The Eagles have the better defense. The pass rush is amazing. 5 sacks away from breaking the NFL record for most sacks in the season. The corner are great. The biggest thing too with the Chiefs defense is that their pass rush is good, but they're relying on a lot of rookies on their defense in their secondary. So I say Eagles.
Okay, PC, which defense is more likely to have a bad performance?
Follow up on Gianni's answer. The Eagles do have the better defense, but if you're asking me who's more likely to have a bad performance, I would actually have to go with the Eagles. In my completely unbiased take, if the Eagles come out this Sunday and they're lackadaisical and they're not executing, Patrick Mahomes is going to eat them alive. All right, he can easily put up 40. All right, he did it against the supposedly best defense in the league with San Francisco. He put up 44 on their home field. All right, he's played against very good defenses this year and has carved them apart. He carved us apart last year, and once again, if we do not execute, if we come out and we are lackadaisical, he's going to carve us up again.
Tolu, who will have more receiving yards? Travis Kelce or Devontae Smith?
Wow, Devontae Smith has been balling this postseason. But I'm picking Travis Kelce because I feel like Travis Kelce's in for an all-time great Super Bowl performance because he got his family there playing against his brother. I mean, this is basically the Kelce Bowl. This is not the Super Bowl. This is the Kelce Bowl. So I just feel like, and obviously he's the number one option for Patrick Mahomes. So obviously Patrick Mahomes is going to throw the ball to him more. So I feel like Travis, and as much as the Eagles have a good defense, I don't think they're going to stop Travis Kelce. I mean, no defense can stop Travis Kelce. It's hard. So obviously I think Travis Kelce's in for a historic Super Bowl game. So I'm picking Travis Kelce.
Okay, Gianni. Who will have more rushing yards? Sanders or Pacheco?
Sanders, I think, is going to be pretty easily because Pacheco is more of a he's going to be like more like he's going to catch like the ball a lot more because with the injuries to the receiving core to the Chiefs receiving core, I think he's going to be more catching than running in this game.
All right, TK. Who will have more touchdowns? Hurts or Mahomes?
I guess I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Hurts, because I expect him to have somewhere around 2 rushing touchdowns, maybe a touchdown or 2 passing. Finish off with maybe 4 touchdowns, something like that. Patrick Mahomes may get 3 passing touchdowns. He won't really get a rushing touchdown. So yeah, I'll go with Jalen Hurts, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, and I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna have somewhere around three passing touchdowns.
All right, PC. Who is the X factor offensively for both teams?
For Philadelphia, low key, the MVP of this postseason run for Philadelphia has been Kenny Gainwell. All right. You know who Kenny Gainwell is, Sean. All right. He exploded in that Giants game. 12 carries,
I
over
was a
100
big fan
yards
of him
rushing.
coming out of Memphis, so I do know.
Memphis produces very good running backs. And Gainwell is not one of those exceptions. All right. He's been having a marvelous postseason thus far. He put that game away on ice against San Francisco. I think there are players that we see every year and we're like, okay, who's like the no-name guy that's going to have a huge game? I believe that guy is going to be Kenny Gainwell this year. He's going to be this Eagles team's Corey Clement in a sense. If he has a good game, then I think the Eagles have a really good chance of winning this game. As far as Kansas City goes, I think the X factor is going to be that entire O-line. The challenge for the Eagles D-line is going to try to pressure Mahomes to, sack him, of course. But Patrick Mahomes outside the pocket is a very lethal quarterback. All right. The challenge for this Eagles D-line is to not pressure him out of the pocket. It's to pressure him enough to keep him in the pocket so that they can sack him. That's going to be the challenge for the Chiefs O-line, who had, they were second in the NFL in win block rate this year. So if this Chiefs O-line, if the time to step up was now, it's now more than ever. That entire offensive line needs to play their role to a T this Sunday, or else that entire Eagles D-line is going to have a feast this Sunday.
All right, and Sean, who is the X factor defensively for both teams?
I'll start with the Philadelphia Eagles. On defense, I'm going to give the Eagles X factor to James Bradbury. PC and Gianni, mistake me if I'm wrong. When James Bradbury was in New York, at least, he's a bigger corner, 6'1", maybe even 6'2". So we matched him up with tight ends a lot. I don't know if he's done any of that in Philly, but that was something that he was very good at in New York. Obviously, to stop the Chiefs, you need to stop Travis Kelce. So I'm going to go with James Bradbury being put on Travis Kelce in man coverage and needing to stop him. If he can do that, not even stop him, because you're not going to stop Travis Kelce. If he can limit him to under 80 yards, that would be such a massive advantage for the Eagles defense and could be game changing. So he would be my Eagles defensive X factor. For the Chiefs, it comes down to one man and one man only. You cannot give Jalen Hurts all day in the pocket. He is going to destroy you if you do. He's going to run on you. He's going to pick you apart. Those Eagles receivers are going to get open if you give them 10 seconds to. So it has to be the defensive player of the year candidate, who's maybe coming off of the best season of his career, Chris Jones. He's matching up with the future Hall of Famer Jason Kelce, who's probably in his last season. He needs to win that battle for the Chiefs to stand a chance in this game. Like I said, you can't give Jalen Hurts all day. He is going to pick you apart. He's going to run all over you. You need to get pressure on him. You need to bring him down a couple of times with sacks. Chris Jones, if there's anyone on that defensive line that can do it, it's going to be him. So he needs to come out with the game of his life this Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you made it to the end of the video so you can hear the voice of the sexy co-host, TK, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the audio EPs in the description below where you can listen to me on PC.